You're listening to the Flipping Fantastic podcast with Mo and Amy. We have Verizon Fios, and at about
Uh-huh.
12:30 last night, it was my sign to go to sleep. I was looking, I was watching dog TikToks,
Oh.
and um, all of a sudden, it wouldn't let me see this cute, uh, cute, cute Irish wolfhound video. I was like, why won't it play? And my internet went out. Apparently, Verizon was like out from like Virginia up through Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Oh. That is weird because for
Yeah.
like 20 minutes I was trying to like look at stuff on Zillow and it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't refresh.
Yeah.
So I kept like turning the internet off and on. So I wonder if that was
Yeah, it was like totally
because
it
my
was
phone
totally
would
out.
work. Because we have Verizon too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was out,
Okay.
and I was watching I got on well, I was just looking at my For You page, and I got on dog TikTok. And so we had a dog, by the way, we had a dog that he uh he was just a mutt. This was before the dog we have now. He was just a mutt.
Uh-huh.
And we got him at the SPCA, and they were like, "Oh, he's probably like part Rottweiler." And there was like nothing Rottweiler about him except maybe that his coloring, but it was more shepherdy
Mm-hmm.
because when he grew that coat, he had that shepherd, like German shepherd coat with that undercoat. Like he had that undercoat,
Yeah.
just giant fuzzballs everywhere.
Uh-huh.
But then he had like this terrier face. He had like a beard. Anyway, his face looked like an Irish wolfhound. He had really long legs. My grandfather, who had when he was growing up, his father had like Airedale terriers, and they have really long
Uh-huh.
legs, and they kind of like trot, and that's how he walked. He was like, "Oh, I think he's an Airedale." But anyway, we always said he looked like a. He wasn't that big because they're so big, those Irish wolfhounds. But he looked like
Uh-huh.
his face looked like an Irish wolfhound, and I didn't get to see it because the internet went out. And then um phone was slow,
That's a
so I
shame.
don't know if it was because like
Yeah.
I have Google Fi, and I think it just uses all the towers around. So if the Verizon towers were messed up, it was probably why. So
How big was your dog? Like how many pounds? Like under
he
50?
no, he was over 100. He was probably 110. This dog's about 110,
Oh,
but he's not as
your
tall
dog?
as yeah.
Whoa. Your dog was over 100 pounds?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, the dog we have now, Ace, he's like probably 110. He's beefier though, like because he's like there's lab in him. He's not as
Uh-huh.
tall. He's not as tall.
I can't imagine how much food they eat because my ours are 30, like 30, 35.
Yeah, you
You
got
know?
Bluey.
I
Bluey.
do.
Do they talk in an
Bluey and
Australian accent?
they do. They bark like that too, you know? I think they're on Australian time because they want to eat it like early, like super early. Like they're getting used to the time change. Well, not
Yeah.
just one of them is getting used to the time change. And
Mhm.
she has the craziest internal clock of any dog. Like she knows the time like down to the second. Like
That's how
she's
that's how this
like
dog is of ours. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, it's insane. Like she as soon as the sun comes up, she starts this little brr, 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 like she wants to go out
It's
or she
time to
wants
go
to
out.
eat.
Yeah.
I mean, when it starts getting close to her dinner time, which is 6 o'clock,
Hmm.
she will go over to her bowl, which is a ceramic bowl
Yeah.
it's on the, on the floor. She
Uh-huh.
will kick it. She will kick it so it makes noise. It clink, 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 and then she'll bark. And then if, I'll look at the clock and it'll be like 5:55, and then she'll kick it and it'll go clink, clink, clink. It's
Feed
insane,
me.
Mo. Yes, I think that's the dog that's half, Australian Shepherd
Hmm.
and half Blue Heeler. So
Yeah.
she's super smart. Like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, if she could talk, she would be sassy. I know it. She'd be the sassiest little dog. Yep. She'd be like, "Mitch, it's time to eat. You take me outside, you feed me. I don't want a bath, feed me the good food, and I she's the one that I cook the, crock pot food for, so
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
like,
Mhm.
all good stuff, and
Yeah.
the whole day, she will lay in the kitchen right there underneath the crock pot and, like, you know, expect me to feed her and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So if I cook
My
dinner in the crock pot, she thinks
Oh,
that's for
she's
her too.
supports her. Our dog just gets in your face and just barks when it's time to eat.
Really?
Yeah. So he
Oh
gets
my
fed
gosh.
on daylight savings time, he gets fed at 6, but I have to
Uh-huh.
remind because sometimes well, if we go out or something, you might feed him earlier, but
Mhm.
I try and daylight savings 6 so that when we fall back, it's at 5 because
Oh, okay.
otherwise it because they'll feed him and especially when it's, like, close to falling, this time of year when you fall back, I'm like, "You gotta stop feeding him at 5 daylight savings time because he's gonna wanna eat at 4," you know? So
Right.
and that's too early because then
Yeah.
he's gonna be hungry at
Oh,
midnight and barking at us. But anyway,
it's
so
true.
but he just
It is.
gets in your face and barks.
Oh my gosh, and this daylight saving time is the worst. I'm over it. They need to get rid of it. It's
And
I swear it's like getting dark at 4 something, you know?
didn't go through one of the it went through one of the houses, right? To stop it,
Mhm.
to keep the actual daylight savings time as regular time all year long. But
Right.
it never got like literally do something, you know? That
I
people
don't
want.
understand.
Although there are people that there are people that l- always see people this time of year that are like they like it when it falls back. They don't like daylight savings time. I'm like, why? I don't know about you. When I worked a regular job, I like to come home and have some sunlight at in the
Yes.
evening
A hu
time. Like,
100%.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and I taught, and I taught, secondary middle school, so an hour earlier. Like my sister teaches elementary. Like this time of year, the kids get on the bus and they're gone. She can leave like 4, like maybe a little after 4 or something by the time all is said and done.
Yeah.
And you
And
know,
it's
if
dark.
she's got stuff to do, if she wants to grade a few papers or something before she leaves so she doesn't have to do it at home or in the morning or whatever, it's dark. You don't see
Yeah.
sunlight ever.
I know. It's crazy. I
I
mean,
also hated
I don't
driving this time of year because that sun, either in the,
Oh,
like, at certain times of year, like the sun's in your eyes. Oh my
yes.
God.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We yes, the road to our house, um, is literally you would driving, like, directly west, and
Right.
sometimes it's so low well, obviously, this time of year. Like, the other day, Matt and I were driving, and I was driving, and there was such a glare, I literally could not see anything in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I
like
know.
a
I hate it.
like, I almost had to stop, like, it was I would just had to keep going luckily, it's a straight road, but it was
Yeah.
crazy, like,
I hate
I
it.
was like, "Oh my gosh," I was like, "Can you see?" And he's like, "No." And so if the car in front of me had stopped, I woulda hit
Mm-hmm.
him. Like,
Oh yeah. I know.
it was insane.
Yeah.
It
So
was insane. But
I don't
doesn't
understand you
Hawaii
weirdos that don't like
yeah, but
daylight
doesn't
savings.
Hawaii, like, not whatever it is, like, they don't do the time change because sometimes it's 5 hours and sometimes it's 6 hours
Yeah.
difference,
And
I think.
I think Arizona, right? Is it
What?
Arizona? Yeah. Let me look.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
didn't know.
Arizona. Um,
Oh, that would be weird. That would be
because
that would be kinda weird. Imagine if you well, if it is true,
yeah,
imagine living there
the
and then
Navajo.
you work in Colorado,
Well,
you know?
yeah, Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. The Navajo
Interesting.
Nation, however, does. So if you are in Navajo lands, you observe it. So
Oh,
weird.
wow.
Um, yeah,
That's
because
interesting.
I remember that from something else, but I also remember this was a long time ago, but when we went to the Grand Canyon my husband and I,
Uh-huh.
well, we just took a trip out there and we went to a bunch of different places, but we also drove. This is when you could still, this is how long ago it was. You could still drive over the Hoover Dam. And
You can't do that now?
they built a bridge to drive over it. Like
Oh,
there's a
I had no
bridge.
idea.
Yeah, you don't drive over it anymore. I They started that.
Mm,
They were actually building that when we were there. All that after 9/11, they did a lot of that stuff. Plus,
oh, I see, I
I
see.
just think they would just preserve the integrity of the dam. Not have a lot of
Sure.
traffic over it. Um, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, so we had gone there, we parked, we walked around, we did the, tour, went down inside it. But they have clocks because the state divide, that's the state divide there.
Uh-huh.
And um, I want to say, I think, no, we were there after daylight savings time, so they were the same. They were an hour apart.
Mhm. Wow, I had
So
no idea.
because they would be the same time, and they're in the same time zone, but they're not. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
why
would be
Arizona doesn't do it. So here's the question. Will Arizona, if we get rid of, if we make daylight savings time regular time, will Arizona just go with the flow?
Oh, I'm
What are you gonna do,
sure.
Arizona? What are you gonna do?
I know. Wonder if anybody do we know anybody that lives in Arizona? I don't think
I
so.
don't.
What is there anybody in our wonder if there's anybody in our that listens to the podcast that lives in Arizona?
Yeah,
What's in Arizona? Phoenix? Salt Lake? No, that's
that's
Utah.
Utah.
I was trying to think of any resellers that that are in the like YouTube that live in Arizona. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that
What's
lives
in
in Arizona.
Arizona? What's in Arizona? Tempe?
Here's
What's
Arizona.
what, what's the capital of Arizona? Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Is it
Yeah,
Phoenix?
I
Huh.
think so.
Jeez. It's so far away. I don't. That's like on the other side of the continent. Well, not the continent, the country.
Yeah.
I swear, I'm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
I had no idea. The more you know, Mo. Thanks for the history lesson.
Yeah. Well, I was a geography major. I took a few
Oh,
things away. That's about all. It's like,
oh, you were. I liked geography and geology. Geology was my
yeah, me
favorite.
too.
I love like I could just talk about it, but
I love
that
it
and
too.
oceanography, I loved oceanography too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one to live at the beach. I like geography too.
Yeah.
However, I live in Delaware and we really don't have many rocks here, so but I'd have to teach stuff. Like I had an earth science thing that I taught. Um
Uh-huh.
and when I first started teaching and the kids cared, um they would bring me rocks and usually they were just chunks of sidewalk, brick, or
Oh,
asphalt. Like,
oh my
thank you,
gosh.
that's so cool. And I'd put them on the shelf and then I'd chug them after that a year. What's so these poor
Oh my
kids.
gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And this was middle school. You would think they
hmm
would have known the difference.
No, because I think if we lived in a place with rocks, with actual rocks, there are some rocks. Like, don't get me wrong, like you could dig and find a rock, but we don't have
Mhm.
rocks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Like
we're
some cool
just,
sedimentary rocks or
yeah,
stuff like that.
we are, you know, three quarters of, more than three quarters of Delaware is just coastal plain. So
Mhm.
it's all
Yeah.
pre-sedimentary. Like it's still in the, and where we live, like right at the top of the state, is, is, we're on like where I live is like the start of the Piedmont. So
That's
there's,
yeah.
there's some, like right above us in Pennsylvania, there's limestone, but that's about it. I live in Limestone Hills. There's no limestone under me though.
We live I mean, I think it's crazy for being at the beach.
hmm
There's a lot of clay. Like it's a ton of
Yeah.
clay
Well, that's
everywhere.
here. Yeah, here too.
you
That's
know? It's
our
just
soil's
like
pretty clay. If it's not sandy down, it's clay up here.
exactly.
Mhm.
It's hard to garden in, you know, you gotta have
Oh,
those,
yeah.
like,
Mhm.
those plants that, like, their roots distribute, like, really far and kinda break up the clay and stuff, like, those are
Yeah.
good for that, but,
Right.
yeah, it is hard to, you know, to have a,
I'm gonna
I guess, a
tell
successful
myself
garden.
I'm gonna
Well,
tell
I don't
myself
know.
that's why nothing grows for me. Just I
Well, those
so
plants are in pots.
oh my god, it's been so dry, no matter how much I watered the stupid mums that I bought, like,
Uh-huh.
3 out of the 4 are just done. Like, I'm gonna put them in the trash. Like, they did not like, it's so dry here. We had rain Sunday night, like, Sunday into Monday morning. So, like, yesterday, I got up, I felt a little better, I didn't feel good this weekend, and I got up, I laid around for a little while, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take a walk." And I did, I took a short walk, it was nice out, it was, like, 70 degrees, and it
I
was, like, 11
know.
o'clock in the morning, and, I was like, I didn't feel so good this weekend at all, I didn't realize that it had rained, and, I'm like, some of the leaves, like, there was no puddles left, like, nothing, you know? To
Yeah.
the only evidence that it rained was when I was walking and the under the leaves was wet, you know? So I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I guess it on the sidewalk, not on the." You could not really tell on the grass because it just sunk in.
Yeah.
It's so dry here. And now it's super, like, gusty windy today, so yesterday, the
Same.
fire risk was down, and now it's up again. And we have, like,
Oh my
not no big fires here, but every once in a while, I see, like, on the police report that there was a brush fire, but there's fires up in PA and, like, the New Jersey and New
really?
York border and stuff, yeah. So dry.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't hear about that, but it's, like, kinda the same here. It's, like,
Yeah.
windy, and yesterday was it yesterday? Sun I don't know, I think it was yesterday, we raked the front yard because
Mhm.
we have 3, 4 trees, like, in our
Mhm.
front area, and
Yeah.
we raked all the leaves up and stuff, and I have a blister now on my hand. This
Mhm.
little baby has a blister,
I
and it
my
and they're falling right now. They're falling right now, I can see them, like the rest of the
Oh,
leaves,
they're
but
blowing around, yeah.
yeah, whatever. It was
It's
a good workout.
there's we have a lot of trees, and there's, like, um my hair is weird today because I didn't feel good all weekend and I had it up. I washed it at one point and I put it up in a ponytail and that's basically where it stayed. So it's like all weird. Um,
Nah.
it's like, uh, that's not really curly. It's just from being wrapped in a ponytail. Yeah,
You're so silly.
there's like 6 inches of leaves out in our yard, and and
Oh,
Drew has gone over it with like the mower like a couple times. But we have
I
so much.
got it.
I like a lot of trees. We don't like a lot of trees this time of year.
Yeah. I like having the trees because I
Uh-huh.
feel like, it helps protect the house from, like, that direct sun, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause
Mhm.
we're looking at houses and stuff now,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing I look for is to make sure that it's not like a brand new construction, like, neighborhood because
Yeah.
typically they don't have trees, like mature trees.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that there's trees around. I don't know, it just makes it look more homey than just like a plain flat landscape with no
Yeah,
trees and stuff like
I
that,
don't like
you know?
no trees. I don't like no trees.
Yeah. It's just yeah, that's like one of my things, criteria that it
Mhm.
has to have.
Yeah.
So,
If you
whatever, whatever. We did go out this weekend. I feel like this is gonna be, like, the last weekend,
It's
maybe
last
next
of
weekend, depends on the weather. Yeah,
yeah,
because
before
the weather was
the
nice.
holidays and everything. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
kind of have a similar weather. We're not far from each
Mhm.
other, so but it was it was very nice this week. I got chilly at night, but I know it
Yeah.
was warm. I only went out at night once because like I said, I didn't
Mhm.
feel good, but it was nice. I didn't so yeah, I bet you
Yeah.
you might be able to squeeze one more weekend out of yard sales.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the weekend coming up, and
Mhm.
then is the next weekend Thanksgiving?
I think
Is that
Thanksgiving
the
is the
Thanksgiving
very
weekend?
last weekend. Like, I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
Thanksgiving's the 28th
oh,
this
so
year.
there would
So
be
it's
maybe
the
2 more weekends
yeah.
left
Mhm.
till yard sale. Yeah, because this weekend we went out and we let's just say that we got our stuff. Well, we were looking at houses too, so that was our
Yeah.
priority. So we
Yeah.
kinda hit yard sales when we saw them.
Right.
But we went to two couple yard sales and then we went to an estate sale. And I only brought home 3 things, which is so
Oh, wow.
rare. And I had
Yeah.
them listed before like noon. So that was
What'd
pretty
you get?
sad.
Eh, what'd you get? Good? Were they
Gosh.
any good or
I got some like discontinued Bissell, um, I don't know. I don't even like some kind of like a power shot or boost or something for your what are those things? Like those steam cleaners. It was brand new. It had never been
right.
opened.
Mhm.
I paid a buck for that. And I think that it sells for like 30. I think it was
What
30.
is it the actual cleaner stuff?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
the
Yeah.
liquid the
Yeah.
concentrate, I guess.
Because
Yeah.
I bought it a while ago, but I bought at an estate sale a one of those little green machines. I'm
Oh.
keeping it because I'm using it on
Oh.
my because I bought we bought a light colored couch when we got it
Uh-huh.
because I have a light colored dog that sheds all the time, but
Right.
it also gets, you know, I have a greasy teenager
Mhm.
and a dog that sit on it, so I need to clean it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff's
Yeah.
expensive because I was at Target a couple weeks ago and I was looking at it and I was like, I bet you there's a recipe online.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna use the online recipe. But yeah, but that stuff is expensive to put
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I know. I was excited. And then
Yeah.
what else did I get? I got like this little it's a Santa what are those called? Like matrish what do you I don't know how to say that. The nesting dolls.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What are those called? Matryoshkas?
Matroi
I don't know
ma
how to say it. Yeah,
Matryoshka.
yeah, those right
I have
there.
some, yeah. Mhm.
Matryoshka. Yeah, and it had all 5 of them.
Mhm.
So I listed that for like 30 something. I paid a bu no, I paid 2 bucks for that. I listed it for like 34, and there's already like 2 watchers on it.
Nice. Yeah.
But it's in really good shape. And then I
Mhm.
bought some like clothing item. It was brand new with tag. Well, it was brand new without tags. Like it didn't have the tag, like the price tag, but it had the tag like inside that holds all the buttons. You know how
Yeah.
they give you that bag of buttons?
Mhm.
Um, I listed that for I don't know, in the 20s. I only paid 2 bucks for that. It's like a travel smith or something, but it looks like a safari jacket and it's a large. So, I think that'll sell. So, that's it. Those are the 3 things I bought. So, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not complaining.
No. Mm-mm.
But I did go to the auction last week,
Oh, yeah.
and you know that we typically only buy the big Gaylords, the like, I don't even know, 3 by 3 by 4? I don't know how big those are. But we bought a Gaylord of books, Mo. It was all books.
Oh,
We
you
paid
got the
40
books.
bucks.
I was gonna say because books start
Yes.
higher, right? Because you usually buy, like, the ones that start at 5 and you get it for 5 or whatever, but how much do books start at?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like I think it just depends. We
Yeah.
paid 40, but nobody else bid on it. So
Okay.
it started at
It
40.
started at
But
40.
I felt like 40 wasn't the normal number. I thought I don't know, maybe media starts at 50 or 100 sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I paid 40 bucks for it because
So
we weren't gonna bid on it, but
uh-huh.
we always just stand around and talk with our friends.
Right.
And Matt likes to, like, pick them up and look at them, and he just scans them every now and
Yeah.
then, some of
Mhm.
them. And we
Yeah.
found 2 that were one was, like, 15 no, one was, like, 25 or something, and then the other
Mhm.
book was, like, 30, I think. Anyway, we whatever it was, whatever it added up to, we would have got our money back on those 2 books.
Yeah.
So we bid on it and we bought it. And then, of course, then I was instantly like, "Why the hell did we buy
I was gonna
this
say, so
Gaylord
what
of
did you
books?"
do? 'Cause you didn't take them all home, did you? Or did you scan them
Oh,
while
no.
there? Like, did you 2 of you just start
Well,
scanning?
yeah, we did. Well, yeah, I did. We just scanned, the ones that we could, and then you know how like older books don't have a barcode on them, so
Right.
I would just Google Lens it to see if it was
Right.
worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
we only took probably. I'm looking at them right now. We probably only took like 10%. Yeah,
Okay.
probably 10% of the books.
Uh-huh.
But I found a Bible in it
Oh,
that
cool.
was a King James. It said King James version, and it was a black cover, but it was like faux leather, and it had a band of brown that across the top, but it was tooled with like floral like tooling.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, this is a really." It was in great shape. It had never been used. It like
Yeah.
the spine wasn't even like creased from opening it.
Yeah.
So this was after we got home, like yesterday. This weekend I was listing them. Um,
Mhm.
I couldn't find it, so I Google Lensed it, and I found the listing on Amazon that said out of stock, and it was for $96
Oh,
for
wow.
that one.
Cool. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, there was none on eBay, but one of our friends from the auction used to sell like that's how he started, was selling books. So I think I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask him like, oh, should we put it on eBay lower or like put it on Amazon? Because I don't know how to do any of that. But $96 and it's out of stock, so that means it's I don't know. I don't know how it works. Like, does it mean that people are looking for it and it's just out of stock, or you know what I
Right.
mean?
I
Like
don't
sell
know.
through wise.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
I don't know
either.
how you figure out sell-through on Amazon, or if you
I know
even
there's some
do.
kind of app.
There's
I think
probably an
yeah, there's
app,
some
yeah.
kind of app. Yeah, and it'll tell you like
Mhm.
the number, and it'll tell you
But you
like
you probably gotta pay
it's
96 bucks a year for it, so you would have to
I
you
don't
know?
know. Doesn't Corey and Teresa just started selling
Mhm.
books,
Yeah.
but I wonder if they're doing it on Amazon or I don't know. I know that they have done something with some kind of an app, like a Scout app or something like
Yeah,
that?
there's I think it's Scout, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and it'll tell
Because
you like,
have
"Oh,
you ever
it'll
seen the
sell
guys
once
that,
every
like,
3
scan the
months."
books really fast? Because, like, they'll
Yeah.
set it for, like I guess there's settings and you can have it, beep for something, within the parameters that you want. You know what I mean? So you can
Okay,
I think that's looked at before. I have sold
that makes
way
sense.
back in the day. I sold some books on Amazon, but that
Oh,
was
say
like a
that again?
long yeah, sorry.
You
A long time ago I sold some books on Amazon. Like a
Oh,
long
you
time ago.
did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay.
back before I even sold on eBay, but it was kind of like a pain. I
There
don't
it is.
know. I don't want to say it was a pain, but it was before Fulfilled by Amazon. It was, you had to mail it.
Yeah. So oh,
So,
so it would sell and you would mail it from your house
right.
to the
Hmm.
person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
a lot has changed since then, and
Mhm.
um so I don't know, but I do know that yeah, that Scout app I think it is one of them. And
Gotcha.
I think that you said it, you know,
That kinda
to
makes sense.
when you're scanning to beep for good or bad. You know what I mean? Like so you know.
Yeah,
And then I guess you can look into it further, but
sure. Yeah. So I just yeah, that makes sense. So I
is
listed
it going to make
probably
me
like
$5 or
10 or
more,
15.
beep or
Yeah.
something like
That
that,
yeah, that makes or like if it sells like once every 3 months, versus
Yeah,
once every 2
yeah.
years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I went through what I have and I listed
Mhm.
probably like 10 or 15 books,
Mhm.
and I if I get half of what I listed it for, I have over $100. So I think I have like $200 in
Yeah,
listings. But if I get half, it was just kind of like what I think in my head. That's 100. So
you're right.
I don't know. But I got a bunch of like kids books, like
Mhm.
the Dr. Seuss books and
Yeah.
the Eric.
Mhm.
Carl, is that his name? Eric
Yeah.
Carle? Like a
Mhm.
bunch of the
Hungry
I don't know
Caterpillar.
the terms, but the flat, the hard,
Yeah, the board
the
books.
cardboard books? Yeah,
Yeah,
board books,
board
yeah.
books, yeah.
So I was thinking of maybe putting them on Commons. I don't know how books do on Commons, like,
Yeah, I don't know either, but if you do it, let me know because I have tons of children. So
you do?
I have like a small collection of the it's probably big because I have like a box full of the little golden
Uh-huh.
books, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I had all this when I was a kid, so I'd always like get the ones that I liked, you know. But I would
Yeah.
but if I go to an estate sale and I see a bunch of them, I just always get them because they're like cheap and I figure so I
Mhm.
have all these kids books too that I could bundle. But I think they will to a certain extent, I think they sell on eBay too. I mean, at least they did. You know what I mean? Like you
Uh-huh.
could bundle them up like 4 or 5 at a, you know, for like $20 or something. I don't know. I'm
Right.
just I'm talking out my rear end, but
No,
but I
that
have tons of books because they are my weakness. And I
yeah.
like and kids' books are just kind of easy to look and like, "Oh, the pictures are cool." You know what I mean? And pick them up
Yes,
as opposed
exactly.
to looking them up, you know, with adult
Right.
books, which I do on occasion. I
Mhm.
do have books. I just listed some not too long ago that I bought, like, this person, that estate sale, man, it was crazy. They were into, like, a bunch of stuff, but one of them was, like, an amateur astronomer, like, but, like, really into
Oh,
it, and they had all these
uh-huh.
astronomy books, and I I know they'll sell, like, these are, like, these like, ones they probably got mailed because they were in, like, it's like Webb you know, the Webb telescope kinda thing?
Uh-uh. I don't know
The
that. Is that the
the
brand?
the James Webb telescope, the big one that sees the Big Bang out in space, yeah. Anyway,
Oh, oh, okay. Okay, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
it, sorry, my ear I tell you, well, my ears are ringing, and it's like now it's like, um, and it's making me lose my train of thought. It'll go away in a second. Oh, so anyway, they were like in some sort of astronomy like society or
Club
something,
or
and yeah,
oh,
like
okay.
that they would get mailed these. I have like a ton. I haven't listed them yet. Magazines, like, and they're
Okay.
old. They're older, like you know, from being in a like astronomy society or something. And then
Yeah.
I listed those books. They haven't sold. I didn't expect them to sell very fast, but um, I think I listed them for like $80. It was like 7 of them.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Mo, that astronomy stuff or the
Mhm.
telescope stuff sells
It's
so
very
good.
in right
I think
now too, I think, you know?
yeah. I mean, I told you about that sale we went to like a couple weeks ago. We bought a box of telescope parts and it
Mhm.
had a, like the
Yeah.
guy said you can have the box of miscellaneous stuff and the
Right.
it was like a laptop bag and it was
Mhm.
filled with books and stuff, but it was all from the 80s
Yeah.
and we paid $10
Mhm.
and I listed the books. I put some of them were in bundles. I put it in a bundle and then one I put separate. It was like an atlas. It was so
Yeah.
cool. It you would like open it up and it would be like the sky during this month if you lived in the northern hemisphere or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Like you could draw on it or something. I don't know. I don't know
Mhm.
how it works, but I listed everything that was
Yeah.
worth listing. And last
Yeah.
night I was packing orders and I sold one of the lenses to one of the pieces that we found.
Mhm.
And I like because I itemize everything and
Right.
yeah, I itemize everything. So I
Mhm.
went to item profit just on all of that $10 buy. It was
Mhm. Nice.
$294.37.
Nice. Yeah.
And that was profit. That's after,
Mhm.
you know, that was after everything. So that was great. And I still have probably like I don't know. I'd say maybe 7 pieces left, but it sold so fast.
Mhm.
Like some of it went to like France, like this
Oh,
one
wow.
lens that
Mhm.
like that you add on to your telescope. I don't know. It
Yeah.
sold for like $70. It was either 50
Yeah.
or 70. And it was amazing.
Some
I
of
was
that
just like,
stuff
wow.
is like, you know, if a telescope is well made, it's not. Like, there's nothing uh, there is there's an observatory here. It's not far from me.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just a little one here in Delaware, Mount Cuba, and they have a telescope that um was made and purchased in the 1800s. It's from the 1800s. But you look through it, you see
Oh, wow.
you're gonna see what you see through, something expensive you'd buy now. Yeah, it's from the
Wow.
1800s. Yeah. Hmm.
That's that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it open to the public, or is it part of, like, some museum or something? Like, how does
No,
that
it's
work?
it's it's open to the public. They have they have the Mount Cuba Society that they have like public nights. I mean, I think you can
Oh, okay.
join as a member, but they also have like university students that come there and do stuff.
That's cool.
And like I had been there before when I was a kid, but we
Mhm.
took the when my kid was a Cub Scout, we went there because like one of their little badges or whatever. We went there and we actually
Oh, it
saw
was
it
astronomy or
was
something?
it was when yeah, it was when we were able to see I I'm gonna say Saturn and some of its moons, maybe Jupiter too. I forget. But like,
Uh-huh.
we saw like a whole bunch, it was cool. It was cool. The boys, they were little, but they liked it. They got to look through and you could see
Yeah.
everything and they were
Wow.
they were most impressed by, because the roof opens and you can
Uh-huh.
spin the
Oh, yeah,
roof.
yeah, yeah.
You can turn where it's
Yes.
open to so you can set it. And they were like, "Wow."
Oh, that's so
But yeah,
cool.
so it's cool. But yeah, so like if that, if they have a telescope that needs those parts, it's not necessarily like a camera. You know what I mean? That,
Yeah. Yeah. It
you know,
was a the
that has gotten,
it was
a
nice.
digital camera that's gotten way better over the years. Like if the
Exactly.
optics on that telescope are good, they're still good. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah. I
yeah, that's
definitely
cool.
had to do a lot of, 'cause, I don't know what any
Right.
of these numbers mean as
Yeah.
far as,
Uh-huh.
like, 2, 1, I don't even know. I don't even know. I had to do a lot of research on them,
Yeah.
but some of them were, like, I mean, they were real like, we knew, 'cause, like, they had some good weight to them, so we were like, "Hmm,
Right.
we
It's
should."
like quality. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
and we found a telescope in one of our totes that we buy at the
Oh
Goodwill.
yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like a tabletop, let me see, it's like a Celestron or whatever. I think it's like
Mhm.
one of those, like, not my first telescope, but, like, for a
Mhm.
kid, but it was
Yeah.
nice, so we kept it,
Yeah.
and we went outside one night when it was a
Mhm.
full moon. We keep it, like, on the hearth over there,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
it looked so good, like, it was,
Yeah.
like, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was
We
nice.
have a big one that we bought a few years ago. Um,
Mhm.
it's sitting downstairs in the window.
Yeah.
I haven't
Wow.
looked at anything lately, but we have,
That's cool.
and it's,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Uh-huh. I know that the middle school that I went to growing
Mhm.
up, it had a
Yeah.
planetarium
Oh,
in
so did
the school.
mine. Mhm.
Really?
So did mine,
That's
yeah,
so
and well, I
cool.
mean, that's the one I taught in, and then they
Uh-huh.
fixed it, but it was so old, and then, like, a bulb burnt out, and it's, like, almost impossible to get that bulb anymore because it was, like,
Oh.
this old model, and
Uh-huh.
then nobody gave a crap about our school, so they wouldn't replace it.
What?
It was like it was a whole thing, don't get me started. But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
we had a planetarium there, and the high school that I went to has the observatory. They have a telescope and
Wow.
an observatory. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the only
Isn't
thing
that
that
cool?
I don't know if I talked about it, but
Mhm.
you would go on field trips, like, all the schools would go on field trips to the planetarium. So you
Yeah,
were
they'd
coming to
come
my
to your school.
school,
Yeah, uh-huh.
but the only thing that sucked is that, when it was our time to go on a field trip, we just
Yeah.
had to walk across the hall. So it was like it wasn't fun because,
Right.
you liked getting on the bus and going
Yeah.
on a field trip.
Yeah.
So I was like,
We would go
"Boo."
though, but, so I taught sixth grade, and the sixth grade teacher that taught me, that was there before me, and then
Mhm.
he was the one that, like, he knew how to run it and everything, and it was a whole
Yeah.
big thing when we tried to get it back up again, and they they did some, like, space earth space science in 8th grade, so the 8th grade teacher, but he was kind of disheartened and because when that bulb they couldn't get it. It's like,
That's
well,
great. He
they
should have
don't
looked.
make they don't
He
make
should have looked on eBay. I bet
I
you they're on
know. I
eBay.
was like, well, you could probably buy it's I'm telling you this thing was from like the 50s or the 60s. I'm trying to think of when
Uh-huh.
they built like that school's really old and they built it on, there was like two other sections they built on and that was in the
Yeah.
back in the last section. And
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you
Of
but
course Hogwarts would have a
when
planetarium.
when they stopped making they honestly probably could have replaced it with like a whole digital display thing. You know,
Mhm.
because you have the hard part. You have the domed
The
ceiling
sky. Yeah.
and the round the round chairs, circular
Yeah.
benches. So they they could have probably replaced it. It's just as easy, probably less
Right.
than it would take to get that bulb. But
That is crazy. I'm sure somebody could have, like,
well, probably, but
reproduced
like
that
I
bulb,
just
you know?
yeah, I know, but they don't they you can't get
Yeah.
regular incandescent bulbs, and that's what this was. It
Yeah.
was some kind of special incandescent bulb that
Huh.
you couldn't get anymore, or
That's a
it was super
shame.
hard to find, and
Yeah.
it was the whole thing. But yeah, that's
So
cool
is
that
it
you're so too.
is it not up? Is it not running now? Like, that
Mm-mm.
you know of? No?
No,
That's
no,
crazy.
and they spent
That's crazy.
it. It ticked him off. He left. It was all political. This we had
Yeah.
a lot of like sciency things. There's a greenhouse
Mhm.
there
Oh,
that they cleaned out and they were gonna have start up, but the principal, all the stuff that they were doing or that we were doing, it was mostly the 7th and 8th grade teacher that were doing this stuff, but I was in on it. I was in on it now. And we were gonna get an outdoor classroom, and the principal we had did not do her part for any
fancy.
of this and
Hogwarts
totally
is fancy.
totally screwed it. Well, the thing with the thing with the the greenhouse is at some point it was actually I don't know if it was moved or if it's just when they built the garage. I think it was moved for when they did one of their um when it was added on, like the school was added on back in the 50s or whatever.
Mhm.
And it really a greenhouse that gets no sun.
Oh my gosh. Oh no,
But
that's too
we were
funny.
trying to think of stuff to do with it, like heaters. But when
Mhm.
they went to clean it out, it was full of snakes.
Ew.
Just
Ew.
like rat snakes, I guess, garter snakes. But
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. But yeah,
No.
it makes my heart hurt when we like all that stuff that they were trying to get done, and she
Yeah.
just totally blocked them. And anyway,
Oh, well.
it depresses me.
Yeah. That's just no. Don't let it depress you.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I'm not even there
crazy.
anymore. It doesn't matter. But you know,
Yeah, but whatever. Whatever.
yeah.
So what we should do our reseller of the week.
Oh yeah. Bum, ba-da-ba.
I gotta
Like she
pull it up
needs
and
this publicity from us. She needs
I
this,
know.
people. So make sure you go
I know.
subscribe. Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
She is the very first person that I saw that did reseller content on YouTube. Like, I can't even tell you how long ago. Like years and years ago. Like 7 years ago, probably.
Yeah, she's one of the first
So,
people I started watching too. Like when I started to get back into reselling, I started watching her. Besides like some of the
hmm
trash to cash guys I found, like she's like number one. Crazy Lamp Lady, by the way, if you're listening.
yeah,
Since we haven't said it.
yeah, yeah. Jocelyn, crazy lamp lady.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally the first thing I ever saw on YouTube that had it like, I wasn't even thinking that it was reselling that she was doing, it was
Right.
just
Mhm.
her it
Mhm.
was when she was I mean, I don't know what she's doing now, but then she was doing it every single day. Like, she was putting up a video every day,
Oh, she still
and
does,
she
yeah.
was just going through the thrift stores. She still
Mhm.
does it every day?
Yep.
Wow. I feel like I watch more on, like, Instagram and stuff like that than YouTube or, like, shorts and things, but
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
I
Crazy
she's
Lamp
like
Lady.
she's a comfort watch for me. I haven't been watching a lot of reselling co I keep saying this, I've been saying it
Mhm.
for, like, the last I haven't watched much lately, but, if I if I'm like, "I need to watch some reselling content," I'll just go watch hers because you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because
She
I know
just
she's gonna go
finds
to a
the
Goodwill somewhere and
the
find
best stuff.
something. Well, and she does know a lot about things, like, and her
Mhm.
videos are a lot of Goodwill
Yeah.
shopping, but that's not where she finds all her stuff, Her and her partner,
Yeah.
they do a lot of auctions. Like, they get a lot of antiques through auction and stuff like that,
Yeah.
buyouts.
They've
So,
just grown so big,
yeah.
with all of their stuff. Like, they had
Mhm.
a store and then I d I don't did they close the store down and move it strictly to their house or something?
I have no
Do you
idea.
know?
I don't know. I haven't watched her in a while, and I was like, I know she's like, "Identity crisis. Welcome to my new home." I don't know. Did she move? Did they separate? What's going on? I haven't watched in a while. What's
Oh,
going on?
that oh, I saw that. But
Mhm.
doesn't it say Airbnb, like,
Oh, is that what it
after?
is? An Airbnb?
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. I didn't watch it, but,
I know
that would
I think her parents have an Airbnb, so that would make sense if she kinda got in on that
Oh,
too.
okay. Yeah, she just finds the best stuff, and well, then she would, list it all on auction on
Yeah,
YouTube.
she used to. Mhm.
Or not YouTube, I mean eBay. But now
eBay,
she's
yeah.
got districts, or on districts, she has
Yes. Uh-huh.
knickknacks,
And
and
I
that's
am
like,
I mean,
wildly successful.
unless she's withdrawn it, I am approved to sell knickknacks, and I was looking at some of my stuff the other day that,
Mhm.
I didn't mean to
That
do
would
that.
fit that genre.
My listed stuff because I was doing and sell similar, and I was like, "I gotta put that up on her, knickknacks because I think it would sell there," I'd have
Mhm.
that more concentrated audience for certain
Yeah.
things.
Uh-huh. You should.
Yeah.
Should
So
check into it.
I have to look, make sure I'm still approved on there because
Oh my I'm sure you are. I
I
don't
did it
think
like,
like, when she
you know
first announced it.
no, I wanna say, like, earlier this year, and then, my year just went to trash,
Mhm.
so, it just,
Do you have anything on Commons? You're approved on
no.
Commons, right?
Mm-mm.
You're
Yes.
not? Oh, you
Yes, I
are. Oh,
am.
okay.
I went so, anyway, go check out Crazy Lamp Lady if you're one of the,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
like, I don't know, one of the only people that doesn't know about her.
Oh, yeah. I
Um,
think everybody does.
yeah.
Just check her
Um,
out on all the platforms.
yep. Was I gonna say? Oh, I felt a little bit better yesterday. So I went into my eBay basement yesterday. I
Mhm.
went a couple different times. And it was like such a mess, so I started cleaning up. And also, I think I mentioned this, but I have a big photo box, to take pictures in.
Oh,
And it was
yes, yeah, you
just it
did.
was just like getting on my nerves. It takes up a lot of room. So I bought some
Mhm.
lights that are on the floor over here that I'm gonna use down
Mhm.
there and just get rid
Like
of the
shop
box.
lights?
These are smaller. I have shop lights
Mhm.
hanging from the ceiling
Mhm.
because
Yeah, same.
it's just a basement. I just have a couple, like a, you know, so I plugged some shop
Yeah.
lights in over my table. But no, just like little lights to put on the table. They're bright,
Uh-huh.
photography
Yeah.
lights, but cheap
Mhm.
to put on the table so that I don't have that big box. I'm not getting rid of it, but
Yeah.
it just it's just taking up a lot of room
Cumbersome.
and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And But yesterday I I didn't list anything or didn't take pictures of anything, but I cleaned and sorted
Mhm.
and I have I have so many people, well, not that many people, but I have people giving me boxes and I have so many boxes. So I was kind of like,
Trying to
you know,
organize them.
because like the last week or so, everybody keeps giving me boxes. I just keep throwing them in a pile. I
Yeah,
mean,
my
I'm grateful
neighbor
for them.
gives us boxes too,
Yeah.
yeah.
My mom, my
Mhm.
sister, my aunt, and cousin, everybody,
Yeah.
gives me boxes and I'm just like, I have a little too many right now. But I will say this, but like, it's not too many because I know I'll use them and I'm glad for them because I don't have to buy boxes.
Yeah, the same, same.
But I will say this. I don't I don't care who anybody voted for. I don't, my life goes on. Everybody's life goes
Mhm.
on. Live your life. But Tuesday, the kaching started again, and I really
Oh.
haven't listed anything. And I really haven't listed anything because uh I didn't feel good all weekend. I told
Mhm.
you. I didn't feel good all weekend. I had big plans and I could barely lift my head. I had such a headache. But now for me, that's like selling one thing a day, which is great at the moment. And I am
Mhm.
back to it, baby. Woohoo. I actually sold two things a day this weekend, and I have a big pile of stuff that's getting mailed today. And I sold something at like 11:45 last night that has to go out today. I wish they would
Yeah.
do the cutoff time the same.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish they would make the cutoff time like 9 p.m. or something. I don't know, for next day. But whatever, it's not that big
Yeah.
deal. But I have a
Yeah.
big old pile that's got to go out today. So I'm
Yeah,
happy.
same.
I'm
I
happy.
that's the it's the same. I thought it's because I've been, like, listing a lot. I had remember last week I was talking about those Spode dishes? Well,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
M Matt went camping this weekend, so I
Mm-hmm.
had 2 days to just, like, tackle all of this stuff. So I listed all of the dishes that I had left. I went through the books, I listed clothes, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of looking at it, so I'm, like, dwindling it down.
Yeah.
And my phone was just going off
Yeah.
all all
Yeah.
weekend,
So if
so
I
I
was
was
selling like
excited.
one or two things a day, you were selling a lot more. But I was excited
I
too.
was I was excited. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I sold, I don't know if I was doing the podcast with you, but I know you know. Remember that, sale that I went to that I bought remember all those Pixel Pals and things I was talking about?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I bought, like, that Funko Pop? Alright,
Yeah.
well, I bought a bunch of stuff for $100, and in the lot of stuff was this Red Dead Redemption 2,
Mm-hmm.
merch, like
Yeah.
Zippo lighters, and I
Oh
can't
yeah,
even
yeah. I
tell you
remember the
what the other
lighter
stuff
things.
was.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I got 3 lighters. So
Uh-huh.
it equaled to $4.66 a piece for all the stuff that I bought. And I got 3 lighters, 2 of them were sealed in the package, like, completely sealed, and 1 was loose. So,
Oh
I
wow.
sold the loose one for 2 something. And then this weekend, I sold the brand new one. I had it listed for 308, and then somebody sent me an offer, and I ended up settling on 230. So, I sold it for
Nice.
$230. So, I
Sweet.
have 1 left. I have 1 left.
That's
So,
awesome.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
I just had to tell myself because at first I was like, "Oh, I don't there was none I don't well, at the time, there was no new in box, like, unopened ones or sealed.
Mm-hmm.
There was none of those listed,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, I should hold out to get closer to what I asked," but then
Mm-hmm.
I have to stop and tell myself, if somebody said, "I will trade you $5 for $230, would you do it?" And I said, "Yes, of course I would." So that's the way I have to look
Right.
at things. I
Right. Right.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
trying to be like, "Oh, I could get more." I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell myself to, like, rationalize it.
Yeah.
So, I was excited. That was my best sale of the weekend.
That's
But
awesome.
and I
That's
sold
awesome.
something on Commons. I sold one thing on Commons. So I had like 23 on
Mm-hmm.
eBay and then one on Commons. So I was busy yesterday. I like I did the shipping last night. So
Yeah, I
that
did too, except then
because
I
I
sold something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had 2 things that,
Mhm,
sold overnight that I have to do, and one of them
mhm.
is, like, my favorite thing to sell. It is a linen napkin, and it's got this print on it with, like, avocados and stuff like that. It's over there, I should have brought it, but it's, like, one of my favorite things to sell. I went to an estate sale, like, a year ago? No, last summer, and it was in a really nice part of the the town, whatever, and, it was one of those, like, you went in their house and all of it looked like brand new. Well,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go on a side tangent. They had a storage area in this house. That was a huge storage area, and they just had, like, baker's racks of stuff. And it was, like, all brand new in boxes, like, lined on the
Wow.
shelves, so I was just like, "Whoa, this is, like, really nice."
Yeah.
And then in one of the back bedrooms, they had linen, just tons of linen and stuff, like, table what do you call them? Tablecloths and napkins and stuff like that,
Right. Mhm.
and I there was so many of them, and they were, like, neatly folded and stuff and, like, pressed, so I thought they
Yeah.
were brand new, and I was talking to the lady that was running it, and, I said, "Are these all brand new?" And she said, "No, they have a laundry service, so that's why they're all
Oh
crisp."
my god.
So,
Excuse
the
pardon-moi.
pattern exactly, that's yeah, they had a laundry service for
Although,
their
you know,
stuff,
that's a
but they
side
were
hustle. I've seen people do people's laundry.
what?
There's, like, an app. You can join an app and you can do other people's you can outsource your
Stop it.
laundry and, like, somebody will just do it. Yeah, I that's sorry,
Whoa,
but that's, like
that's crazy.
I don't know
I
who's
guess I guess you
ironing
can,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a huge stack of, napkins, like linen napkins, or not
Yeah.
napkins, they're tea towels. They're like linen tea
Okay, yeah.
towels, but they
Mhm,
have these cool retro, like, prints on them. So I got a whole
mhm.
stack of them for 5 or 10 bucks, and I have been selling like, there was, like, 20 of them with the same print. I've been selling them for, like, 20 bucks a piece. And one of
Nice.
them, well, a couple of them are, like, these really cool retro designs,
Mhm.
and the highest one I sold was, like, 70 bucks for one of them, and it sold really quick. So, I was super excited. That
That's
was probably
awesome.
last summer that I sold that one. I know,
Mhm.
but that was my favorite. That's my favorite
That's
thing
cool.
because it doesn't take up any space, you know?
Yeah, no.
And I
Mm-mm.
kept one of them had, like, a stain on it, this avocado one, and we kept it for ourselves, and it just holds up so well. Clearly, I
Mhm.
don't press them, I just wash and fold it, but it holds
You're
up so
not
well. They're so
ironing?
nice.
You don't
Are you
iron,
kidding me?
Amy?
No, definitely not ironing,
Oh,
but
I
I'm
haven't
excited.
ironed.
I got the what? You haven't
I never
ironed?
ironed. Oh, I haven't
You never
ironed. You know, when my kid was a Cub Scout and I had to iron patches on his and he's 16 now, you know, that's when he was 6.
mhm.
I had to iron when we first got his uniform, had to iron some patches on,
You were
and I
like,
got my
"No."
iron out and it didn't work.
Oh my gosh,
I had to buy
Mo.
another iron, and
Jesus.
that's the only time we use
That's so
it
funny.
to iron a patch on.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Matt irons Matt irons every day. He irons his work
stop.
shirt every day. No, he
Drew
can do it
buys
really fast.
Drew either wears, like he wears polos when he goes in, or
Mhm.
he gets the no iron ones from Costco, the button downs. He takes them out of the
Yeah,
dryer and hangs them up, and they're good to go.
that's good. That's good.
No
Yeah.
iron in here.
Yeah, he irons every day.
Oh, wow.
He
Good for
has like
him.
he has like a linen one that, you know, that I'm just like, that's a when it comes
He's
out of the dryer,
fancy.
it's a hot mess.
He's fancy.
I know. Him is fancy. It doesn't take him any time. Oh my god, this is stuck. It doesn't take him any time though to iron it.
Wow, he's good
So,
at it.
I know. Yep, he's a good
Mm-mm.
little housewife. Thanks so much for watching and check out more of our videos right here. We're flipping out.